I am 24 years old and I've almost burnt myself out. Okay, let's do this. This is going to be difficult. Hello my loves and welcome back to another video. My name is Lisa Marie, and if you are new here, this channel is all about inspiration and living your best life. So you want to subscribe for more inspiring videos like this one. This week I want to talk about something a little bit different than I usually do. And I know this is going to be a tough video to film, but I want this to be very raw and real, so I'm not going to edit it crazily. I just want this to be a sit-down video. And the topic I want to talk about is the hustle culture. And my experience with it, my feelings towards it, and how I've been struggling with it. I know that the hustle culture triggers a lot of people, and a lot of people feel pressured by it. And I was always seen as the workaholic, and a lot of people would always point out that I would get burned out pretty soon because I was doing so much. But I loved it. I loved it so much. I defined myself as a workaholic, but not anymore. I don't want to be labeled as a workaholic anymore, and there are specific reasons for that, and I'm going to elaborate on those in this video. But for you to understand where I'm coming from, I want to give you some background information and tell you a little bit about my story. So, as I said, I was always seen as the workaholic. I was always doing a lot more than anyone else, and I prided myself in my work ethics and me being a workaholic. I really identified as a workaholic. This was one of my main character traits. And people would see me like that because the outside world or people are the reflection of what you believe to be true about yourself on the inside. And for me, it was absolutely normal to hustle, and I didn't see it as something negative. I thought it was something positive to be busy all the time, and that is what my life looked like, and it was my drug. I just loved it so much. So my day looked like this. I would wake up between 5 and 6 a.m. and then I would work out or do some yoga. Then I would head straight to work or to uni and would finish my day around 10 or 11 p.m. But that means I would be working till 10 or 11 p.m. I would have like a dinner break or something, but I would never do Netflix or relax or read a book. I would be working or studying or doing something productive till 10 p.m. Sometimes, if I was generous with myself, I would allow myself a 10 to 15 minute break throughout the day. But apart from that, it was hustle, 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 hustle. Performing and doing stuff non-stop. And I would have my first meal around 12 or 1 p.m. because, you know, intermittent fasting is so good for you, right? Well, it might be for some people, but it definitely wasn't for me because I was already putting so much stress on my body with my work and everything that I was doing that not eating but actually fasting was causing additional stress that my body couldn't handle. And all of that was a couple of years ago, and lately I've been putting a lot less pressure on myself. I still had some very challenging and tough jobs in the past, but I wasn't putting that pressure on myself that I needed to perform all the time, but that I could also relax and enjoy myself. So I just thought I had to use every single second of the day in order to have a good day. And for instance, when we had exams, I would wake up and start studying at 6 a.m. in the morning till 10 p.m. It was insane. I thought that I had to deliver all the time, that I had to be productive all the time, and that I had to be doing something every single second of the day. As a result, I got a lot of things done and I was very successful in what I was doing. However, it made me sick. All of this has been years ago, and despite me really changing my lifestyle and looking after myself, I'm still struggling with health issues that are rooted in this time, that are rooted in me pressuring myself, that are rooted in me stressing myself out, that are rooted in me working way, way, way too much. And those are very severe health issues. We're not talking about anything lightly. I've been really struggling with some health issues, and I'm still trying to recover, and I'm still trying to heal my body. And I had to do some extreme lifestyle changes in order to reverse what I've been doing to my body in the past. And what does that look like? So first of all, I quit intermittent fasting because, as I said earlier, that just put a lot more additional stress onto my body and my body couldn't handle it. Then I scheduled in a lot of breaks throughout my day and especially in the evenings to really calm down and rewind after a tough day. But most importantly, I changed my mindset. I had to let go of being part of the hustle culture is something good and not being part of it is something bad, and it implies that you are lazy and not worth it and not lovable and not good. That is so not true. You are loved either way. You are a valuable human being, no matter if you perform or not. You are amazing just the way that you are, without performing or delivering all the time. I really had to change my mindset and to love myself even when I'm relaxing, even when I'm not working, even when I'm just chilling. And I really had to understand that relaxing is part of performing. So you can't deliver and be productive all the time if you don't give your mind and your body some space and some time to relax and to chill. You need that. You need recovery time to be efficient again. Look at all the athletes. They schedule in recovery time. They need it for their bodies in order to be efficient and fast and strong again. It is so natural, and the same applies to the hustle culture. We need to give ourselves a break here and not buy into this idea that we need to perform every single second of the day. Another thing that I had to stop was comparing myself to others. I thought I always had to do more and be more than others in order to be loved and valued. And I really had to let go of that and just see myself for myself and not in comparison to anybody else. So I stopped looking at other people's lives and looking what they are doing and then trying to do more than that. I just looked at myself, where I wanted to be, what I wanted to do, and what was the best way to get there, and also the healthiest way. Because all those thoughts of comparison were so draining and just making me very tired and exhausted, because in my head I was working all the time, but then I was also thinking about myself and others and my performance in comparison to them all the time. And that was so exhausting. So over the past months, I had to work with several professionals to really get my body to recover and heal from all those health issues. I had to work with professionals because I couldn't heal myself, because my body was a mess. I don't want to go into detail, but it's been quite severe, so I really had to seek professional help for that. And is it worth it? Not at all. I mean, I've been still working on healing my body, and it's gonna take a couple more months, so it's gonna take at least a year, if not longer, to recover from all of that. I am 24 years old, and I've almost burnt myself out. I have destroyed my body. And what for? It's not worth it. It's not worth it stressing yourself out. And I had to change everything about my life. I had to change my lifestyle, my thinking patterns, my identity, everything, because the way I lived wasn't sustainable long term. And I've always been a very positive, optimistic person, but I got into a depressive state, which is so foreign to me. I'm really a positive person, so I was shocked that I got myself into this, that I got myself so far, I pushed myself so far, that I got into a state where I couldn't even recognize myself. And in this time where I was working so much, I was doing a lot and I saw a lot, and it was great, but it was not sustainable long term. So today, I am proud to say that I don't want to be a workaholic anymore. I don't want to stress myself out 24/7. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. I still do want to work a lot because I enjoy it, but I want this to come from a place of inspiration and inspired action. I don't want this to come from a place of pressure and stressing myself out and comparing myself to others. So today, I'm still recovering and healing my body, and I'm taking my time and I'm slowing down and taking my time to really heal my body and to change my life and my mindset and my identity. And I'm still waking up early and doing a lot of things because I love it. But this comes from a place of love and inspiration and creativity, and not a society telling me that I need to do a lot and perform and deliver. So today I have a lot more energy. I'm so much happier and I love myself more. I ditched comparing myself to others and started loving myself more. And as a result of that, I'm much more efficient and productive when I'm actually working, but I am enjoying my downtimes more as well. And that leaves me being much more balanced and in return, doing better at work, being more efficient, being more productive. And I think I create better results and I create better things. I also experienced the most personal growth I ever had in my whole entire life during the time that I actually slowed down, because now I do give myself the time and the space to have challenging thoughts and to actually deal with myself and work on my personal development. Because before I was working all the time, so I didn't have the time or the space or the patience to work on myself and my personal development. I stopped those draining thoughts and became much more satisfied with myself and my life. And I'm healing my body. I can see my body change and just becoming much more balanced. I love myself so much more and I have so much more compassion for myself. So I had to change that part of myself, of being a workaholic, that I thought was part of my identity. So as a summary, I don't want to be a workaholic anymore. I used to think being a workaholic was something positive. Nowadays, I see it a little bit different. Working a lot is still great if it comes from a place of creativity and love and inspiration, but not if it comes from somebody else telling you that you have to do it, or from yourself pressuring yourself that you have to perform and deliver. So the hustle culture made me sick. Social media telling me that I need to be constantly doing something made me sick and pressured me so much that I performed and achieved a lot, but I destroyed my body whilst doing that. Because there was so much pressure from social media all the time telling me that I had to have at least one successful business by the age of 25. And that's ridiculous. Some people achieve that, but if you don't, so what? You're still a loved, valuable human being. So always remember, your worth as a human being is never tied to your work. But today I'm proud to say that I am not a pressured workaholic anymore. I do what I love because I love it. I love to be efficient. I love to be productive. I love to work a lot. And I love it. It's not because somebody else pressured me or social media or our society is telling me that I need to be doing all those things. And I really needed to come to terms with myself and realize that being a workaholic isn't everything in life and that it isn't necessarily as positive as I always thought it was. So if you identify yourself as being a workaholic, I invite you to challenge your motives. What are you doing it for? What drives you? Is it something that comes from inside or is it something that comes from the outside? If it comes from the inside, does it come from a place of love, inspiration, creativity, or from pressuring yourself, stressing yourself out, and having very, very, very high standards for yourself? Or is it circumstantial? So do you need to provide for your family and that is why you are working so much? So become very aware where your drive is coming from. Also be very, very, very honest with yourself and ask yourself a very tough question. Are you tying your self-love or your self-worth to your job or your work ethics or your performance? And also ask yourself, are you enjoying your life right now? Or are you compromising for a better future? Because there is a time and a place for hustling and working very, very hard, even if you don't want to. Say you want to save up for school or vacation. Then you can hustle and work hard and stress yourself out for a short amount of time. But you don't want to do that long term. So ask yourself, are you enjoying your life or are you compromising for a better future? And that is it for today's video. I really hope that you took something from it and that you ask yourself those tough questions and that you are being honest with yourself. And I hope that if you find that you are pressuring yourself or that society or social media is pressuring yourself, that you are able to stop and take a step back and just relax and ask yourself those questions. And I want you to know that you are being loved and valued all the time and that you don't need to perform and deliver all the time. You are a wonderful human being, even without your jobs or your title or your grades. So always remind yourself of that truth and really try to live a balanced life and take care of yourself mentally and physically. Don't destroy your body for success. Take care of your body and love yourself. Be kind to yourself and treat yourself with respect, the way you would treat others or the way you would want others to treat you. And that is it for today. I know it's been very deep and very serious, but I really needed to get that off my chest, and I really wanted to address this topic because I feel like hustle culture is triggering a lot of people and impacting a lot of people in a negative way. And I hate to see that, and I don't want others to feel the way that I felt and to get into the position that I found myself in, which is that I really needed to change my whole entire life. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more inspiring videos like this one. And you can also follow me on Instagram, because on there I also talk about inspiration and on how you can live your best life. So follow me there as well, and then I'm gonna see you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.